Hello and welcome to Explore TBR, the channel dedicated to finding and exploring what remains of the historic Thailand-Burma Railway. In this video, we'll be exploring the railway in the area around the huge Wampo Viaduct, one of the most visited and photographed sections of the railway. As with many of the other locations along the railway, Wampo is a Western mispronunciation of the Thai name for the area, in this case Wampo. This video is going to be a little different from the other videos on this channel, which generally explore a length of the railway line and have a map showing the features along the way, the cuttings, bridges, embankments, etc. This video is just going to focus on the Wampo Viaduct itself, and will explain how to get there and a bit about the viaduct. Looking at Google's terrain view, the railway coming up from Kanchanaburi was following the north bank of the Kwai Noi River, but at Wampo this high bluff comes right to the river's edge. This is similar to the area at Hellfire Pass, except there the railway would have required many kilometers of viaduct, ledges and cuttings, so the Japanese engineers chose to go the long way around. Here at Wampo the distance is shorter, so the engineers opted to go straight through over a few hundred meters of viaduct, ledges and cuttings. So how can you get up here to the Wampo Viaduct? My recommendation is to take the morning train from Kanchanaburi. You'll cross the bridge on the River Kwai on the way out of town, and it's a pleasant hour-long ride through scenic countryside all the way up to the viaduct. You'll know when you've arrived because the train slows to walking pace as it crosses the viaduct, with the timbers creaking and groaning under the weight of the train. At the far end of the viaduct is the Tam Krase railway stop. There's no station building per se, just a place where the train stops for a minute as passengers get on and off. The morning train will continue onwards to Namtok before turning around and going back to Kanchanaburi later in the afternoon. You have about 2 hours in the meantime to explore at your own pace and have some lunch. Alternatively, if you come up on motorbikes or in a car, follow Highway 323 from Kanchanaburi about 45 minutes to the 3343 road junction. Turn left and follow a twisty winding road descending to the river. Be careful and watch out for monkeys on this road, they're everywhere. This road splits halfway down, and it doesn't really matter which way you go, although the left-hand side is a bit shorter. At the bottom of the hill, at the T-junction across the tracks, turn left, and follow the road to the car park at the end. If you're on a motorbike, you can drive along the road through the market right up to the restaurant at the Tam Krase railway stop, and park there. From here it's only a few meters to the start of the viaduct. A third option would be the tours offered by most guest houses and travel shops in Kanchanaburi. You'll see tours to what is vaguely called the Death Railway, but these tours all come here to the Wampo Viaduct. The tour bus will bring you up and give you a short time to get out and see the viaduct and walk a short distance across it, before heading off to the next point of interest. You won't get much time here though, so if you want more time to explore at your leisure, you'll have to make your own way here. If you have a chance to read 1/14 of an Elephant by Ian Dennis Peake before you visit the Wampo area, it describes his experiences as a prisoner of war building the railway around the cliffs at Wampo. It's an excellent book, and you'll recognize many of the places from the book as you explore the Wampo area. The structure that stands today is not the original World War II bridge. It's been strengthened and rebuilt over the years, but it still closely resembles the original. The bridge support columns, called piers or bents, follow this design. The piers are currently spaced approximately every 8 meters, but the spacing does vary. Steel girders are now used to span the gaps between the piers. During the war, the piers were closer together, around 4 meters apart, with timber beams between the piers. The height of the piers varies considerably, as does the height of the concrete foundations. In some places you can see the concrete footings of the original wartime bridge in the spaces between the current spans. Starting from the Tam Krase railway station, the viaduct begins immediately to the south, and you'll cross 4 separate bridge sections. First, there's a very short bridge which spanned a shallow ravine. The track then runs along a short stretch of level ground, curving to the left around the rock bluff. Farther along you'll come to the first section of the viaduct, around 40 meters long with 4 timber piers. Here you'll pass the Krase Cave, a popular spot with the local Thais for its Buddhist shrine inside. The cave is also mentioned in 1/14 of an Elephant. Then the track follows a rock ledge cut into the cliff for around 15 meters before the second, much longer section of viaduct begins. This section has 14 piers along its 110-meter length, curving to the left at first, then straight for a short distance, then curving to the right towards the end. Beyond this bridge, the track is again laid on ledges and cuttings that have been cut out of the cliff for 150 meters. The train is just pulling onto this ledge section here. The rocky cliff face has been reinforced with concrete in places. After this, the third and longest section of the viaduct begins, around 260 meters long with 32 wooden piers, running straight most of the distance but curving to the left at the far end towards the Ihit station. This bridge ends at the level ground at the Ihit railway station. At this end of the bridge, there is a path going down below the viaduct where you can have a closer look at the wooden piers and some of the original concrete bridge footings. Exploring the viaduct is easy, and no hiking gear is required here. Shorts and sandals will be fine, and food and drinks are available at the restaurants and shops around the railway stop. The restaurant at the Tam Krase railway stop serves reasonable all-you-can-eat buffet food, both Thai and Western, and it's a good place to rest, eat, drink and relax until you hear the whistle of the train before it pulls in on the way back to Kanchanaburi. The train is due around 1:50, but it's almost always late. The schedule may have changed, so check at the station in Kanchanaburi before you leave in the morning. Like I've said many times before, this railway is a site of historic importance. Please don't take anything and please don't leave any litter behind. Remember the thousands of people who died under appalling conditions constructing this railway and treat what remains of it with the respect it deserves. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting or informative. If so, please give the video a like and feel free to subscribe and check out the other videos on different sections of the railway. And if you do get out here to Wampo to explore, let me know how it went in the comments below. I'd really like to hear from you. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.